guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and I'm a money coach. And today I want to talk to you about where your relationship with money began. I find this topic so interesting. I shared it on my Instagram, which if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I'll leave the link down below. And the comments that I got, not only to the video, but in direct messaging, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, let's keep going with this topic and let me bring it to you. So when it comes to your relationship with money, I want to ask you, and please leave it down below, where do you think your relationship came from, right? How old are you the first time that you thought about money? I can tell you for me, my sister and I were the only two kids in our family. So my mom was a stay-at-home mom during the day, and she worked the night shift. First, she got her GED at night, and then she worked the night shift. And my father wasn't really around as much. He was around on the weekends because he was a truck driver and he'd be going from state to state. So because of that, I knew that money was something that was always lacking in my house. And it was something that I knew, I felt it. I remember my parents arguing and talking about money, not with me and my sister in the room, but you could still hear it because obviously we weren't living in a big fancy house. We were living in a 2-bedroom apartment. So conversations carried, even though obviously that wasn't their intention. So I knew from when I was really little that money was something that was lacking. Money was a stress point for my family. But my mom always tried to make it where it wasn't something that we thought about. Like my mom and I and my sister on the weekends, we would walk our bikes like miles to this park because my mom didn't have a car and she didn't drive. So we'd walk like to this park and she'd do a picnic and we'd have a frisbee and we'd have a basketball and we had our bikes and we rode them around, and she never wanted us to feel like we didn't have something. Movie nights were something on, tell me down below if you guys remember this, or I'm going to age myself right now. On Sunday nights at 8 o'clock on Channel 7, they used to have, I think they still do, The Wonderful World of Disney. So we'd pop popcorn, we'd make hats out of like paper, and we'd sit and cuddle and we would watch Disney movies every Sunday night. And that's a tradition that I still carry to this day with my family. We have movie nights. It's Friday night now because it's before the weekend. But we cuddle, we pop popcorn, we watch a Disney movie. And to me, it's just something that I always loved with my childhood. And so I wanted to incorporate it with my family now. But one thing that I'll never forget is I never asked for anything. There would be field trips that came and went in high school and elementary school and middle school, and I just knew we didn't have the money for it. So if there wasn't a fundraiser where I could bust my butt and make that money so that I can go, we just didn't go. That was just it. Like, we just didn't go. And my sister, on the other hand, she was born 5 years after than I was. So for her, she was always treated differently than I was. I'm no resentful, but just it's facts. And so she was given things. So while I never wanted to ask for things, she was always given extra things. So because of that, we grew up in the same house with the same parents, but in a completely different financial world mentally, right? I knew you had to work hard for money. I knew that you didn't get things for free. She, on the other hand, felt entitled and felt as though because she was her, she was able to ask for things. And when she asked for things, she would get things, right? So fast forward to today, I work a 9-to-5. I have my money coaching business. I have 3 kids, a house that we're trying to pay off, and a wonderful marriage. She, on the other hand, has the kind of life where she feels as though things still need to be brought to her. That's just the mentality of it. And again, I'm not trying to judge her or talk negatively. I have a friend I grew up with since, I can't even remember, I think 5 years old. And she also felt the lack of finances. But she went the route of accumulating credit card debt because she wanted, when she got a good job, which her job is fantastic. I'm so proud of her. She's amazing. Once she got that job, she started racking up credit card debt because she wanted to have the fancy clothes that went with the fancy job, and she wanted to have a fancy car that went with the fancy job, and she even got a boat. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would love to see her sail. She's so smart. She's such an amazing person. But she talks about it all the time. Like, and she's like, Debbie, like I don't know how I got here. Like, I have such a great job, and for some reason I needed these things. And now I have this massive amount of credit card debt, and I'm helping her come up with a plan so that she can tackle her debt. And I know she's going to do it in no time. Once she starts really dedicating her mind to it, and with my help, she's just going to crush it. But it comes from a place of lacking. It really did. The three of us were in pretty much the same circumstance, and we all went different directions. I've shared before how I was in a toxic marriage, and it cost me $48,000 to get out of that marriage, between the legal fees and just trying to survive between me and my two little children back then, before I met my husband and we had our third. And I wanted to give them everything I could because I didn't have much growing up, and I felt like they were going through enough going through the divorce. And between that, living above my means because I was stuck in a house I didn't like and I couldn't afford, and barely living paycheck to paycheck because of the legal battle and because of my circumstances, that made me accumulate $48,000 of credit card debt. To me, it wasn't from a place of lacking. It was more like a place of survival. But of course, I could have made better decisions along the way. But again, this all goes back to your first memories of money. Like, did you ever feel as though money was lacking? And if so, did that shape your relationship with money going forward? That day that I sat down with my husband and we looked at our finances, and I was able to realize right off the bat that I can change my relationship with my money by simply logging all the expenses and start looking to see what we can cut right away. Right away, within, I'm going to say 2 months. I should have documented it, but I think I'm going to say 2 months. I was able to cut almost $1,000 of expenses. And I have videos on this topic that I can share with you. One is how I negotiated my bills and lowered them, and I'm going to link that at the end. And I still get comments to this day about that video because people still are calling their utility companies and still making small changes and negotiating bills and saving money every single month. Another one is meal planning. With meal planning, I was able to cut our grocery budget from $280 to $290 a week to $180 a week to feed my family of 5 healthy meals. Right there, that was $5,200 that we saved that year. And every year moving forward on our groceries alone. And I'll share my meal planning video at the end as well. I hope that this helps someone because you can change the relationship that you have with money, but I feel like it's so important to recognize where it came from. Like, where does your mindset when it comes to money, where did it come from? And if you guys are in a place where you want to change your relationship with your money, I'm going to leave a link to my calendar down below. Feel free to click it and schedule a call, and I'd love to see how I can help you. I hope this video helped. If you liked it, please click the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and to click on that bell. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.